Yo, yo. Testing, testing. Cycle through the scenes then. Alright, I think we are good to go. I think. This is somewhere, so. Alright, the way this crops. Yeah. Well, for the most part, I think we're good. Alright. Turned on this music. Probably come over here. But yeah, welcome everyone, Shinju Ryu here, welcome back to the channel, and it's one of those rare occasions when the chapter drops on a Sunday, but yeah, you know, can actually, I mean, I still feel kind of late because, you know, most persons still, you know, cover the leaks or the quote-unquote early release, so I still feel kind of late, and admittedly, I did see something about Sarada quote-unquote killing Ryu apparently, so you know, it is what it is, but I'm here all the same. So yeah, but we kind of just jump into it. And Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 21. Of course, shout out to everyone who'll be dropping in and even taking in this reaction review of mine after the fact, after this video goes up or the stream goes up. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Happy Sunday, happy Easter, all that jazz and blues. Vertical. Hi. Why are we not loading here? Okay. Alright, so Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Manga Chapter 21. Mangekyo Sharingan. And pretty cool cover of Sarada here with her Mangekyo. Love to see it. Loving the red background. The color scheme matching the Sharingan naturally. So let's get to it. And alright, so here we go. You see, becoming Hokage is my dream. A Hokage like Lord Seventh. And I know we just started, but you know, funny enough, if any of you remember what I was saying last, well, is that a last chapter or the reaction review I had at the end of last month where I was saying this chapter needs to have a flashback that is Sarada centric, even if it's a few pages, because the whole notion of her kind of suppressing herself subconsciously or whatever the case may be, whether it be because of love or how she feels about Boruto and using the power that she unlocked because of Boruto and Naruto, quote unquote, using for something, you know, basically all that jazz and blues that Yodo was basically. Was it Yodo? I keep mixing up the Sand Shinobi names, but you know the point. You get the point. All that was said to her last, that her Gohan Android 16 moment, right? So I was saying that it needed like a flashback to kind of really flesh out that whole notion of her suppressing herself subconsciously, because I don't know Sarada as that type of character, but of course a lot of things could have changed in the 3 years, so that's all I'm saying. But anyway, for real, you're way too self-aware, Sarada. Moil take a, what's with this translation here? More, or is it some kind of different language? Anyway, whatever. I'll take a boyfriend today over some future dream. I wonder where I can find myself a hottie. Jeez, oh peace. Chocho. And I envy your carefreeness. What I'm aiming for, Sarada, is to become a shinobi like your dad. You're gonna be Hokage, right? Then I'll be your right-hand man and work hard to protect you. And does that bother you, Sarada? That other girls might like Boruto? Well, it certainly bothers me. As Hokage, all of the people in this village are like family. I'm not an extraordinary shinobi like Lord Seventh or my dad, and that's why I don't have time to be thinking about anything other than becoming a Hokage like Lord Seventh, who protects everyone in Konoha's future. And of course, flashback to when Boruto got hurt there. Move aside, Sarada, or are you still feeling the need to interfere? Regarding Lord Seventh, who has been missing, there's a strong possibility that he's already deceased at Boruto's hands. I need to go after him. Let me go, Sarada. I'll kill him. I can't blame him. In fact, it's a perfectly normal reaction. Boruto almost killed Kawaki, and then with Naruto and Hinata. I don't understand. What's going on? What is wrong with everyone? I'd say that Ada is involved somehow, similar to the phenomenon where all who see her become her captives. I believe something's happened to everyone. Just earlier, everyone was chasing Kawaki, and then all of a sudden, they're now trying to find and kill Boruto instead? That would never happen under normal circumstances. It's clear some unnatural power is at work, something powerful like a Shinjutsu. Ada must have done something to save Kawaki from his predicament. That's the only thing I can think of. But it's too cruel. Why can't Boruto ever get a break? And then Mangekyo Sharingan. And back to some Sasuke action here. Mangekyo Sharingan. It's a variant of the Uchiha Sharingan, said to be triggered into awakening by extreme psychological shock. So something truly terrible, well beyond normal understanding, must have happened. Dad, Boruto isn't guilty. He would never kill Lord Seventh. Everyone's being duped. She insisted we were all being duped, and it's likely the truth. Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan is all the proof I need to believe her words. Which is true, because back then we're saying, well, I was saying that, yo, it makes sense. Because, yeah, he's under the influence of omnipotence, but again, based on what we know about the Mangekyo Sharingan, especially somebody like Sasuke, he must know, like, yo, there must be some kind of truth to what Sarada is saying if she's unlocking her Mangekyo Sharingan. It's a big indication, like, okay, let me just roll with it, you know? Anyway, Uncle, those eyes of hers will likely be a great help going forward. Though it seems Sarada herself isn't yet aware that they've awakened, but she will realize it eventually, as well as intuitively come to understand her abilities and what she's capable of. Alright. Back to present day. Mangekyo. Let's see. Alright. Iron Sand. Sarada approaching. The jutsu seems like it got absorbed or sucked in. What is that black spear? Is it one of Uchiha Sarada's abilities? Mitsuki, guard Araya and Yodo, and protect yourself too. Sarada, your eyes. Don't worry, this ability may have just awakened, but I already know what it can do. I don't get how, but it seems all of the iron sand is drawn towards it. In which case, alright, I just need to make sure you're along the sand's trajectory. Alright, comes up, puts it back down. And then sends it back to him? Okay, cool. What the? They're heading in the opposite direction. Ooh, another spear. That one absorbed it. So there are two. No, wait, I see. Wait, Akari? Nah, you're not really too late. Like, literally started streaming almost 11 minutes ago, but we haven't really gotten too far in the chapter. Yes. Okay. Anyway, okay, so she has two spears. One absorbs and one, I guess, repels? Oh, wait, okay. There's 4 spears. Okay, cool. I was gonna say, like, okay, maybe one eye saw that and the next eye saw that. But apparently not. More. I count at least 4 spears. Okay. Alright. There's some clog rhyme coming in. My body's... Ooh. Damn it, what is going on? They're floating. Is it some sort of magnetism? Some kind of magneto shit? I bet it's gravitational force. Okay, close enough. Basically, close enough. Okay. So, fire some iron sands to kind of get some grip back to the ground. Ryu, man, looks stressed out. I suspect that the spirit is exerting gravitational pull, but only upon Ryu, the Iron Sand, and Sarada herself. It isn't affecting you, me, or any of the natural objects around us. She's able to pick what it applies to. Okay, interesting. This force. I'm being pulled towards the spear too. For too long, I've averted my gaze. Yo, I'm not like she look bad. This is just a float and yo, just don't read the speak chapter. Jamaican, hear my people. Yeah, man, I'm Jamaican. Yeah, welcome to the stream too. How do I say? Realize. Yo, man. Yo, but not like, yo, she look fresh, yes, but not like the jacket, the floating, the eyes, the hair. Yo, she look badass, real badass. Fretting that my goal to become Hokage felt so out of reach, never being able to do anything about all of the calamities happening. I didn't want to acknowledge it. I was scared to admit how powerless I am, so I looked away from the me who felt unsettled by class rep's feelings, and from my own feelings towards Boruto. I rejected them all as weaknesses. Okay, she sounding like a real Uchiha right now. That's Sasuke blood flowing in. Friendship, I cut all my ties, you know? That type of vibe. Anyway, not realizing that I was also rejecting the power hiding inside me. Oh boy. So far, her manga ability drawing so far come away debatable. Ikimoto went all out this chapter. Let's see. Let me continue. Sarada, quit mumbling nonsense. You psycho. And then, ooh, she's made the spear larger. The pulling force is getting stronger. I'm not looking away anymore. Cause if I run from myself, I can't tackle the reality in front of me. I can't save a single person. And then man trying to get back in. Jura observing. And then seems like the Cloud Grime. Wait, hold on. Damn it, I can't even move a finger. If becoming Hokage is my dream, I need to start by accepting myself. Ooh, eyes bleeding. Shit. So wait, hold on. You have the Cloud Grime here, so and try. Yeah, but cause wait, it's his left hand that was going in there, and then I guess it just gets pulled back some more than lightly. All right. Okay. Hold on then. To start by accepting myself. Mangekyo Sharingan or Ohirume. Interesting. Hold on. We need to do a Google search. Ohirume. What kind of Shinto god is this now? Okay, hold on. Slight intermission. Ohirume is another name for the Japanese sun goddess Amaterasu, often referred to as Amaterasu Omikami. Okay. So it's an alternate name for Okay. She's considered the chief deity in the Shinto pantheon. She's also known as Ohirume no Muchi no Kami. Okay. So it's an alternate name. Okay. Very clever, Kishimoto and Ikimoto. He tried to escape, but didn't let him. Yeah. Mangekyo Ohirume. Oh, okay. Actually, I didn't need to Google it. They literally have like a note here. Boy. Alright, getting sucked in completely. And then, boom. I like how it has that kind of atom. Well, I guess the explosion kind of has that kind of shape too. And she still has a 3 behind her. Man, get atomized, brother. And then, boom, Sarada. You know, the interesting thing, no. This is a very clever scientific way for them to do it, because you know, we're kind of going along that Dragon Ball road because apparently everybody's going to be able to fly and everything. So you don't know, say, as Sarada masters this Mangekyo Sharingan, she'll be able to zip through the air using the gravitational forces and fly, you know, because, you know, we're taking that Dragon Ball route. Alright, so Mitsuki catches her. Sarada, she's unconscious. She must have used up her chakra. Alright, you have a soul form bulb. Ryu was just defeated, taken down by Sarada's new power. So it's awakened. Good, we've managed to achieve one of the most critical goals of this battle. Indeed, though it's a real shame about Yodo. But it wasn't in vain. Her sacrifice was a major contributing factor to this outcome, so it couldn't be helped. Hey, wait a sec. Koji, answer me truthfully. Was there any chance of the Mangekyo Sharingan awakening without anyone dying? I can say this much, if you'd gone to help, it definitely wouldn't have awakened. You knew that Yoda would die and kept it from me, didn't you? Well, yeah, that was one of the next thing I was expected. That the fact that Koji was hiding, you know, some of the information from Boruto, I expected that somebody was going to die. So yeah, not too surprising. I determined it was best not to tell you, and our current conversation proves me right. And what about Master Konohamaru? Does he have any chance against Matsuri? Answer me. You listen to me, Boruto. Jura is connected to all the other divine trees through shared senses. So if you appear before Matsuri, Jura will seize you in a flash and kill you. I've seen many permutations of this, all with the same ending. I would say collapse, implode rather than explode. Yeah. Makes sense, you know. Gravitation. Kind of like a black hole-esque effect. Or like a star, I guess, collapsing in on itself to form a black hole. Boruto is really Naruto's son. Save everyone. Yeah, true. But I like this swing because it creates conflict between Boruto and Kashin Koji. You know, we don't want like smooth sailing. We want conflict in the story so it's more engaging, you know? So I like this. Alright, so Mr. Riz himself over here. Matsuri. Ugh. How dare you trick me, you bastard. You'll pay for that. Alright. Boruto going anyway. Boom. I found a piece of metal. It might be one that Boruto uses for teleportation. Oh, okay. So Boruto just leaving metals all over the place. Boru. Not even finished that sentence, bro. So Boru. So Bombas, that idiot, he's going to ruin everything. There you are, Otsutsuki Boruto. Oh shit, it just done this. Wow, come on, bro. Come on. Shit. Oh god. Yo, that just slash up everything that you need to do. Oh god. Alright. Awesome chapter. Welcome to everyone that's dropping in for my Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 21 reaction review here. Yeah, man, of course, like up the stream, please. But yo, this was a really awesome chapter. I mean, we could definitely have some nuanced conversations about it because I feel like there's a decent amount to be said, to be honest. But awesome chapter. But where do I start? Okay, so yeah, like I was saying in my reaction review for chapter 20, right? As well as if not my end of month subscriber stream at the end of March, where it didn't make sense to me the picture they were trying to paint of Sarada suppressing herself, you know, subconsciously or consciously, and you know, not tapping into this power. But I had predicted that we would have gotten a flashback if you even go back and skim through those videos I did, or those streams I did, that, you know, something to kind of establish a better context for why Sarada would be doing that. especially since she's not that type of character. So I'm glad that this chapter that started with the flashback that I predicted, in the grand scheme of things, helped to establish that and kind of give better context for it. On one hand, her not realizing that she had the Mangekyo Sharingan, but Sasuke predicting that she would eventually get it back and quote unquote intuitively figure out how it works. Even though I will make fun of the fact that, fam, like, how did you know that this is the name of the move? like, I'm just saying, how did you know? Like, or did you just make up a name on spot? I'm just saying, I will make fun of that. But yeah, I really appreciate them kind of establishing that context. And even though she definitely sounded like, definitely her father's daughter in terms of like viewing certain emotions and connections as weaknesses, there's a nuance to it, because at the same time it's more so in relation of her goal of becoming Hokage. All of that, all those other feelings have been a weakness, quote unquote, but at this point she's realizing it's a strength. So I like how it kind of, I guess, could if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say it kind of gives more depth to Sarada, or at least it sets the foundation for more depth, because if she's acknowledging these feelings now, like going forward, like how does she operate as a character, right? That's something to look forward to. It kind of sets the stage for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out from a character standpoint or a character interaction standpoint with everyone else around her, so that's something to look forward to when you really think about it from that perspective. So good stuff. So I like that. And of course, the more badass, superficial, but the more surface level stuff. Of course, she looked, she looked clean. Gravitational forces. I like it. And of course, as I was saying earlier in my read through there, it's kind of like a clever way to, okay, let's bring in this other character that can quote unquote fly, because you don't know, say once she masters this Mangekyo Sharingan, she'll be able to fly. She'll be flying with Boruto, dog. You see me? So I'm just saying. So there's that. I do like the ability, gravitational forces. I will be talking about, again, as per usual, the power skill at some point. But one of the things I had mentioned before was that, okay, maybe stats wise, certain characters aren't really stronger than certain characters. But if you have the hacks, then fine. And the hacks plus, in this case, everybody just seen these abilities for the first time. You don't really have the information to really counter it. So, it was perfect for them to just take out Ryu in that one go there. But I'm kind of curious, like the fact that she could, like the gravitational force is so much that not even a Shinju can break free from it. I'm wondering if the gravitational force is basically the same as, if maybe not even greater than, that gravity dimension that Kaguya has whatever English. But questions. So I'm curious. And if that's the case, like if she combines all the spirits and then exerts the full gravitational force, like possibility. Let's wait. I'm just saying the possibilities are endless right now. But of course, it does seem that the chakra consumption is going to be a bit much for her. So probably as we go on, as she masters it, maybe her chakra capacity will definitely increase, because right now it's not looking too good for her in terms of just spamming the abilities. She'll still need some support at the end of the day. So I guess that kind of quote unquote balances things out for right now. But of course, Ryu's Soul Thorn Bulb is still there. Hold on, was it? Nobody grabbed it, did they? Yeah, it's still there, even though it looks like it's being destroyed too. But I guess we'll find out for sure next chapter. So there's that. So yeah. And apart from that, I'm coming to the chat in a bit. Just give me a sec. I just want to finish all my review thoughts. So I'm not ignoring you guys. Just give me a second. So I like what we have with Sarada here, right? What I will say as well, again, so I did a video with Mello before, I think maybe after chapter 1 or chapter 2 of 2 Blue Vortex, and we were talking about how strong, you know, Boruto was, right? And one of the concerns I've had, and I think a lot of persons have had, is, you know, how will the rest of the cast kind of catch up with, you know, Boruto, Kawaki, given everything that they have going for them. And even though this is like this is a start, right? This is a real big start for Sarada, because again, it's different points of interest. You can get behind different characters to say, okay, yo, the plot isn't, or the story isn't just dependent on Boruto time. It's not Dragon Ball BT or Naruto BT. If you catch my reference there, right? It's not Boruto time. So if nothing else, this kind of sets the stage. Okay, yeah, we have other characters we can, you know, rally back on. The story feels more dynamic. There's different points of interest, different little, you know, power progression threads, because of course her eyes are bleeding, so of course more than she's still going to have the issue of losing her eyesight. So that's going to be another like story thread or power progression thread, if I could phrase it that way, right? So, you know, look at stuff like that. So it kind of helps the story feel more dynamic and engaging too. So this is good. This is good. And of course, I already pointed out the conflict between Kashin Koji and Boruto. It's going to be a thing. So there's that too. So, you know, Kashin Koji is the more like logical, you know, person in the situation. But, you know, Boruto, even being an Otsutsuki, he still had, well, that has nothing to do with it at this point. But, you know, just for argument's sake, right? I mean, he still has feelings and emotion and all these connections. So it's going to be a thing of conflict. So the story is feeling very, very good right now. And the fact that Boruto is on field, ready to, well, rescuing Konohamaru, jeez, and Feast, the Riz Master, and Jura's going to be mobilizing in action. It just feels like the story is going at a decent pace. So the pacing is really good too. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to go. Will Jura come on the field? More than likely. Will Momoshiki finally make an appearance? You know, so it was an awesome chapter. Awesome chapter. Anyway, let me see what you guys are saying now. That Toku did say things from their tools. True. Again, which goes back to the more logical thing. So, you know, that's another thing. We could have like some kind of arc of Koji becoming more emotional. Who knows? Prediction: if Jura does show up, Kawaki will arrive and he and Boruto will fight Jura and maybe lose. In order to get strong, Kawaki absorbs Shinki or Matsuri's Thorn Soul, effectively killing them. That could be interesting because, you know, we don't, well, I would like to think that this whole mission to the sand is, oh, hold on, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kawaki approaching Amano, that happened before Sarada and everyone got to the sand village, right? Remind me if anything, because if that's the case, they would have had time, maybe like a 2 days or whatever the case may be, for Kawaki to get his power unlocked and then maybe come on his way. Maybe. Orihume page is just too good. Yeah, yo, dog, it's crazy, dog. Yo, you can imagine that when the anime drop, crazy. She needs to train Sakura to build up her chakra reserve and chakra control. Yeah, that's true. That could be a nice way to include Sakura, because, you know, she does have that Byakugo seal training. Well, quote unquote, it's very much implied, more than likely. So yeah. How did Itachi, Obito, and Sasuke know the name of their Sharingan? You mean the name of their moves, rather. You've got to wonder, right? Honestly, you've got to wonder. To be honest, it's not weird that she knows the name of her Mangekyo Sharingan. It's canon for her instantly because, no, not the name, but just the name of the move. Because they can't learn it, they will go blind. Because they can't learn, they will go blind. Oh, interesting. Even if you had information, it won't change anything. Yeah, true. I'm just saying, maybe, just maybe, like, it could have been, because you know how it goes in the Naruto world. A lot of times, if you have the info, you can, you know, work around certain moves. But yeah, for real, maybe in this case, it wouldn't really have made a difference, honestly. Only one eye, by the way. Yeah, because when I saw the second spear, I was saying to myself, yo, okay, maybe one eye is repel, one eye is gravitational, but it seems like it's just one eye's ability to control the 4 spheres. You can repel and attract with gravitational forces. Well, no, let me tell you, she's not repelling. When it attacked her, she probably just increased the gravity to, make the sun go down, essentially. Because if I go all the way back up, when he was trying to position the iron sign in her trajectory, hold on. Let me just look back at it. Yeah, it just went down. So yeah, this is just one eye's ability. So I'm wondering if she'll be able to use like some kind of almighty push with like the next eye ability. Maybe. That would be crazy. Konami is so dumb. Pointless character. Dude wants to be Hokage. Ah, boy. I mean, you had the double Rasengan against Matsuri, but yeah, I was hoping you would have had a moment as well. But I mean, I was still cool with the double Rasengan, I guess. But yeah, I'm still expecting more from him. Kawaki can fly, so he can jet across the land in 2 hours. Yeah, more like maybe even with his unlocked, potential, quote unquote, or his swapping defense for attack, he probably will fly fast and could get there. One the anime messed up is not including comment about 100 healings related to karma. Yeah. I hated that they dropped that plot point as well. Unless it was something in the outline for Kishimoto, maybe it's something in the future they probably don't plan to include. Maybe that's why they dropped it for the anime. Who knows? Or maybe they plan to bring it back in, reincorporate it at another point in the anime. Who knows? What I was trying to say, due to the special arc applied from eyes to eyes, already possess knowledge of MS abilities, so it's canon for him to know the MS abilities without training. No, I think it's one thing to maybe intuitively know what to do, like how to use it. That's one thing, but I just think like it's still a bit ridiculous that you could just know the name, right? But again, I guess you can transfer knowledge with chakra, so maybe for real, maybe you just know the name. But it's just one of those anime things like, fam, how, I don't really like Koji. He embraces a flawed logic that was proven wrong at the end of Naruto. Danzo was the one who pioneered the Shinobi our tools narrative. I wouldn't say pioneer, but definitely one of the biggest promoters. But I think the whole Shinobi our tools is more so a cultural thing from early Naruto's generation and before. Hence the point I was making with previous reaction reviews where, okay, I didn't expect Konohamaru and Sarada them to be able to really follow Shikamaru's plan like that, because yeah, again, they're shinobi, it's their job, but culturally Konohamaru and everyone after him, from a cultural standpoint, they aren't that type of shinobi anymore in the grand scheme of things. Like, I guess an extreme example would be to compare them to the mentality of shinobi from the Blood Mist generation, right? So yeah, so I think it's more so that in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, pretty much that. So all in all, I thought it was an awesome chapter, but let's continue to talk. All right, so I know because I was thinking about this the other day. I don't want to make any promises about a video, so let's just kind of talk about it for here. If I make a video, a dedicated short form video about it, like 10 minutes discussion, that's one thing. But there's two perspectives to, I think, Sarada beating Ryu by herself. And hear me out, guys. So the pro, the for being for it, I think it embraces the whole notion that even in the Naruto universe, even if you're stronger than somebody, if somebody has a hacks then and you can't get around it, then you're pretty much screwed in the grand scheme of things. Because I'm sure everybody would say, of course, Hashirama is stronger than, say, Obito, right? Naturally, Obito's awesome, but of course Hashirama is stronger. But at the end of the day, if Obito manages to capture Hashirama and Kamui, then it's still GG's, even though Hashirama is stronger. And you could say that's the case of what's going on right here. Cool, no pressure with that, because I myself was saying before, like, okay, like, based on the narrative that Kishimoto and Ikimoto are trying to tell us, Sarada and all these characters have no business beating any of these Shinju. But if they had a hacks, which is what we have here, then I would be good with it, and I'm good with it. But for the sake of discussion, I still want to bring this up, right? That I don't want to say this is a negative thing, but I'm starting to think that the whole beyond Jigen are stronger than Jigen, it's kind of starting to, it feels like it's bringing in, I don't want to say, the closest thing I could say are the usual go-to comparison is like Dragon Ball Super in terms of power scaling and certain characters like having no business being as strong as they are fighting certain characters, right? Because bro, like I think the Beyond Jigen thing is kind of messing things up for me mentally, right? Like, think about it. Like, yeah, exactly. It's starting to lose meaning, fam. Like, alright, whatever. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Why was she bleeding from just one eye? Yeah, because she was more than likely using the ability from that eye. One ability more. Beyond is starting to lose meaning. She's using her other eye's ability. That's why it's not. Okay. You guys are just talking about that. Okay, so yeah, the whole Beyond Jigen thing, I think, shouldn't have been like a massive statement because one, the initial thing was okay. We had the whole code was. A limitless code was beyond Jigen. Oh shit. You know, you're kind of hyping up code, the whole tension of code getting his limiters removed. But I mean, code removing his limiters, as I say time and time again, has only limited his wins in the grand scheme of things. So, you know, so that was one thing. And then, of course, we had all the other quote-unquote cyborgs beyond Jigen and all of that. And it's like, when you put it in perspective, right? You had, like, if we're taking it back from late Shippuden days, you have Naruto, right? Sage mode, you know, up against Pain. QB Chakra mode 1, QB Chakra mode 2, combining QB Chakra mode 2 with Arteel Beast mode with Sage mode, 6 Fat Sage mode. You have this whole 15-16 year time skip, you get next half of Kurama, plus training and all of that. You're quote unquote, everybody's like, oh, on paper, yo, he's now beyond Kaguya and everything, right? And then you have Jigen that beats Naruto and Sasuke, and then you have Ko that's beyond them, and then you have the Shinju beyond him, and then you have Sarada just beating one of these characters, right? Like when you think about it, the best example I could give right now is it would be as if over the 2.5 to 3 year training between Naruto and Jiraiya, if Naruto came back and he could beat Kaguya. How does that sound to you? Does that sound like it makes sense? That's the kind of vibe. I'm not knocking Sarada winning. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not knocking. I'm for it. I've already admitted I'm good with her having the hacks to beat him, fine. But I just want to have this discussion with you guys to kind of showcase that the Beyond Jigen statement, it's when you start to kind of dissect it, it's starting to ruin the power scaling. Because you can still make an argument like, okay, these Shinju are fresh, they're new, they don't have the battle experience, they probably can't maximize their power. You can probably still throw that in it as well, but like on the surface, like at first glance, you're saying, dog, are we sure these are the characters beyond Jigen? Because I'm getting the vibe that Naruto and Sasuke could still come back and like really be of use right now, you know? So I don't know if I'm quote unquote tweaking or if it's just me. She isn't using Kishimoto is involved with Boruto more real. He gave Ikuma the outline to fill in the interview in France. Yeah, I did take in the interview from France. I mean, he has they still do discussions in terms of what's changing about the original, you know, long-term script. I mean, he's finished the script, so I know. But he's still involved, I would say. They still have discussions. Discuss where code has messed up the scale. Yeah, bro, it makes no sense, bro. Bro, think about it. Again, I'll give it like, imagine Sasuke gets his Mangekyo Sharingan over the you know, he did his training in Orochimaru, gets his Mangekyo Sharingan, and Sasuke is beating the 10-tailed Jinchuriki by himself. Like, that's the kind of vibe. That's the kind of vibe, bro. Because of this whole Beyond Jigen statement. It's crazy to me, dog. Honestly. I don't think Amal is a reliable information source. He's first said Code is above Jigen. He hasn't shown once that he's behind. Unless they come back and say it, but like narratively speaking. Because alright, shout out to Mello. Shout out to Mello. But I had stopped in his power scaling stream just for a little bit before I dozed off. Because I was going to bed. And he was streaming at the time. I'm like, I'm not kind of so I'm kind of the scaling. And yeah, about Sarada way up there, really like beyond a lot of characters. And I say, yeah, because logically, like when you see Sarada beat Ryu now, who's supposedly beyond limitless code, who's supposedly beyond Jigen, it makes no sense, fam. Like, of course you're going to like probably on the surface at first instant probably scale Sarada to that height, but it's crazy to me, fam. Crazy. Believing Amaro word for word is the same as believing what Kabuto said in his fight against Itachi, saying he's the closest being. Okay, that's a good comparison, Bushmaster. True. I get exactly what you mean, bro. It makes no sense when you really... Yeah, exactly, fam. Because this was my concern, you know, before even this chapter. Because I was seeing Mello, a few other persons kind of talk about it. Like, for example, like earlier in 2 Blue Vortex. Oh, Sarada dodge. Managed to perceive with her Sharingan and dodge Hidari Shidori. That means that she's actually way up in the power scaling. I'm like, no, this I get what you're saying, fam, but something about that narrative doesn't feel right, you know? So I was kind of concerned about that. So it just, I don't know. I hope something in universe addresses it. Because for characters that are beyond, and you know, it goes back to even the whole, you know, Kaguya versus Momoshiki and Kinshiki, you know, statements where, yes, I know that they're the ones she wrote about. Narratively, it's implying that, yo, Momoshiki and Kinshiki are stronger than Kaguya. But, you know, for me, this is just me, like, there's always been this gnawing feeling for me. Like, I don't know, man. I get what you're saying, and I know that Momoshiki still scales to this version of Naruto and Sasuke who've gotten strong over 15 years, and you know Naruto's gotten the next half of the Nine Tails. He's done training, and Sasuke's apparently a quote-unquote master the Rinnegan taxi driver. But you know, and Momoshiki scales to them. But you know, something always just felt gnawingly off about Momoshiki stronger than Kaguya. I don't know, fam. Something still seems off. And this is kind of like another comparison where these are the characters beyond Jigen. I don't know. Something feels off about it, you know? That type of vibe. But narratively, that's what they want to tell us. Narratively. But it just seems like bullshit to me. Anyway, apparently that's just how it is. Code hasn't shown he's beyond Jigen. I mean, they're telling us. I mean, but he's a fraud. Karen, you have to produce them frauds. Darashikage. To be fair, Mangekyo are not equal. Honestly, Boro was supposed to be on Sasuke level but got beat by Genin. Koji said he was built to kill Ishiki but got destroyed. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe we're just supposed to use our heads and deduce like, oh, maybe these characters aren't really beyond Jigen, you know? No, but I mean, Daemon himself, you know, confirmed that, you know, Code is beyond beyond Jigen. So, I mean, we can trust Daemon, right? Get this way, no one is above Ishiki yet. Yeah, I wouldn't go so far for real to say no one's above Ishiki. A beta Mangekyo will still be OP in Court and Boruto. That's how strong it is. Yeah, true. Kamui, especially if you have two of the eyes. Ooh, shit, fam, crazy. Because I mean, gravity-wise, I don't think that would work on Obito with Kamui, right? Technically speaking, yeah, I don't think it would work. I still think Madara with both Rinnegan plus 10 tails kill fuse Momoshiki. Madara has a limited tracker pool plus is essentially immortal. True. I don't see a world where Madara loses too much. You see, it doesn't make sense, fam. Like, I don't know, like. Is man, let me get tongue twisted. I don't even know what to say, fam. It's like narratively, the man must say, yo, yeah, them man are way stronger than Madara, but man, I know at the same time they look so ass at the same time, you know. So, like that's the thing, dog. Like, would cognitive dissonance be the thing, or something similar to like, shit, them characters stronger than way stronger than Madara, but man, I know them look ass all the same. Man, I know, you know, that type of vibe. Gravity will work on Obito. He can only use coming on part of his body. The rest of him will be affected. No, that's the case. He can phase through everything. Or at least he can still teleport himself away anyway, so it's whatever. Power scale wise, it's valid to so just go with it. Oh god. Oh god, fam. It's crazy. No, but I mean, fine. But I mean, for this, again, this section of this reaction review here, the discussion is just for the sake of like puns and giggles and for discussion, because you know it's going to come up. Because the thing is, no, you're going to go into a discussion with someone and someone is going to say, all right, Sarada right now, solos all of Shippuden, solos Kaguya, everybody, you know, solos Hashirama. And they're going to be like, I don't know, that sound right. You know? I don't see why not. Unless those Rinnegan are not for just aren't just for show and she can use something to repel Amaterasu. Madara man handled the tail beast and you're telling me Denki gonna end up stronger than people the 5 Kage? It's crazy, right? Alright, so here's the thing. I will say I am okay with characters making ridiculous jumps in power, you know. But there has to be some foundation. It has to make sense. For example, Boruto, right? For the longest while, coming from pre-time skip going up as the story was progressing, I was kind of wondering, okay, how is Boruto going to surpass Naruto? Because all the power-ups that Naruto got, all that he went through, when you steal a lot of Shippuden and the jumps in power that characters had, like because, you know, with all the training and everything leading up to the 4th Great Ninja War, right, for certain characters, Hashirama and Madara seemed like they were like a stratosphere above everybody else all the same. Madara came at main present day and was disappointed in the tippy top tiers characters in the verse, right? And then you had jumps, 10 tiers levels of jumps in power, 6 parts jumps, and for the longest while I'm saying like other characters catching up wouldn't make sense. But as the story went on and I'm saying, okay, Boruto was already like Chunin level, he was gifted, he was a genius, and then you throw in the Otsutsuki DNA and I'm saying, okay, so if he's getting Momoshiki's power, and Momoshiki in the grand scheme of things was already relative to Naruto and Sasuke, and then if he's going to become 100% Otsutsuki, that means even training for like 3 years, like his potential jumps would be greater than if he was still human. And then you tap into Momoshiki's power and get training from Sasuke. You know, you have all these points where it makes sense for Boruto to surpass Naruto, right? So Boruto making this crazy jump in power in 3 years, it makes sense. I'm like, okay. He jumped all the way from maybe, let's say, like by himself without karma, maybe part 1 Naruto level to like beyond in the Shippuden. It's a ridiculous jump, but the foundation is there for it to make sense. So that's the thing. I'm good with ridiculous jumps in power, but it has to make sense, fam. We see Obito phase through physical objects. Gravity is not a physical object. True. But, I'm thinking. I mean, he could still just phase away anyway. He could still just, I mean, with 2 Mangekyo, he could phase away twice. Unless gravity is going to affect that too. Sarada and Tsukiyumi for 24 hours, brain dead. No? Yeah, there's that too. How does Boruto defend Konoha against Madara's asteroid? Good question. Let me think about that. Boruto versus the asteroid. Well, I guess he could just teleport the asteroid away, couldn't he? Space-time ninjutsu. I don't see why not. Or at least, you know, teleports it using his quote-unquote flying thunder god atoms, probably. Yeah, maybe he could use a large scale attack, but you know, we still haven't seen him use like a large scale, you know, landscape changing move. Which is thanks to them kind of trying to ground the series back to the smaller scale. You know, I think that might be part of the reason as well, that they've kind of tried to grown the series back to these smaller skirmishes. I think that's part of the reason why the characters don't seem as ridiculous. Maybe. It's still fun to me that Momoshiki only beat Insane Boruto and lost to every other character, yet he's hailed as the strongest. Oh, sorry, wait. It's fun to me that Momoshiki only beat Insane Boro, sorry, and lost to every other character, yet he's hailed as the strong. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, fam. Like, narratively, yeah, and most persons, including myself, agree, yeah, these characters are way stronger than X characters, but none of them just seem ass all the same, you know? I want Boruto to use that damn tool creation ability from Fusemo. You see what I say? Even that. Sasuke used one shooter in the meet and the last will be fine. Yeah, how could I forget about that? Yeah. But, I mean, that was the last Sasuke. We don't know that, like, present day Sasuke, he probably wouldn't be able to do that. You know, he would have probably, like, Ota Chakra, and would have probably destroyed quarter that me. Sorry, we can't help but clone that Sasuke. I have to. I'm sorry. Sasuke's one of my favorite characters, but, I mean, I'm just saying, I will clone on him. Yo, oh god, fam. It's crazy. Perfect line will be enough. Yeah. I mean, it would be kind of like a case where if you took how the characters are portrayed, like up to the last Naruto the movie, and say if we could have a similar portrayal of how those characters are portrayed, and put those type of portrayals on like the Boruto characters, yeah, Boruto would be able to just destroy the meter without like a purple lightning and boom. So that's what it comes down to. Hey Zion, yeah man, yeah, you're late. I've been streaming for almost an hour at this point. Don't read the chapter, I've given my review. And I'm just talking about the nuances and my concerns about how the chapter affects things retroactively and going forward when it comes on to power scaling at this point. And making fun of characters at this point. Kakashi made it for Boruto to steal just like Sasuke did. Very true. Yeah, everybody's stealing the Coffee Ninjas moves, eh? Crazy how that works. Like 60% through. Oh, never mind. Let's say rating on the chapter. My rating on the chapter, I would say it is a solid 9 out of 10. I mean, Sarada getting more context for her character, or adding more quote-unquote depth to her character. I mean, the Sarada epicness and her becoming... I mean, her ability is hacks, and I still wouldn't put herself in top tier, but it kind of sets a path for her to become... It creates a new... Well, not a new. It creates the expected power progression narrative for her. So it creates like a point of engagement. It makes the story more dynamic because, you know, we're looking forward to seeing how much stronger Sarada is going to get. And... she can more than help out in a fight right now. So the story feels more dynamic. All that jazz and blues, epicness with the abilities with Sarada. You have the conflict between Kashin Koji and Boruto brewing. You have the pacing of the chapter as well. Boruto coming in at the end there, creating more chaos with Jura. And, you know, all that jazz and blues. So all these points I think kind of adds up for it to be like a 9 out of 10 chapter. But at the same time, I'm here discussing with the guys, everybody in chat here, my concerns when it comes on to the Beyond Jigen statement being a issue, you know, and the whole power scaling. Because I have to be talking about the power scaling almost every chapter. Because each chapter kind of recontextualizes, you know, things about the power scaling, where characters stand in relation to each other, where characters stand in relation to the top tiers of Shippuden, etc. I think that would be a forever conversation at this point. My boy Sasuke keep catching straight. It rough, bro. I'm telling you, it's not my fault, bro. You know, if you guys were in my end of month subscriber stream for March, I was saying it, like talking about Naruto and Sasuke and how, you know, bringing back that conversation, that topic in terms of how they were portrayed in the Boruto era and how they could have been portrayed much more powerful, you know. But it is what it is. I'm still confused at how a juvenile 10 tails is stronger than Kaguya's massive. Exactly, you know, that's the next thing. You have a juvenile 10 tails, and then you have Kaguya's 10 tails, which, all in all, Kaguya's 10 tails should be much more powerful, given that, one, that 10 tails would have absorbed, you know, more energy and chakra from the planet. Granted, you know, it was split up into the tail beast, but think about it. That 10 tails is actually the tree and an Otsutsuki merged together. This juvenile 10 tails is just the 10 tails by itself. And when you think about it, Kaguya's 10 tails isn't just like a Otsutsuki and the tree merge. It's a Otsutsuki that already ate the tree's fruit and then remerge with it. So technically, yeah, Kaguya's 10 tails should be much more powerful in the grand scheme of things. Logically. W. Code definitely free eats. I got metal paxing him up like the guy did. Yo, trust me, dog. They'll have to do something for Code to redeem himself, dog. Best part of the last walkie-talkie stream is Bara telling Mello Boruto kills Sarada with his aura. I haven't taken in or been a part of any of the walkie-talkie streams in a while, so I can't say. But logically, like, I can't blame Bara for saying that, because logically, as I was pointing out, as I was kind of going over the power scaling earlier, like, yeah, technically, Boruto should be able to do, like, technically, right? But, and you know what I think it comes down to as well, where, you know, maybe not what it comes down to, but one thing to factor in as well is, we as fans definitely kind of think about this power scaling thing, I think, much more than the authors a lot of times. That's one thing. And I think the next factor is that a lot of times, you know, you could probably have this character should be stronger than this on paper logically, but I think sometimes maybe if the author has this narrative goal, narrative intention, it may kind of sway how the characters are portrayed as well. That's just me. Remember, the Shinju is a group project. Code Shinju's Ishiki Karma Boruto said this is no, yeah, I know, like, that's what I'm saying. Even for, I'm alright with the Shinju supposedly being beyond Jigen as well, because, you know, they have the 10 tails, they have codes, the limitless code, chakra, and Ishiki's essence. So all things considered, yeah, I'm good with the, I have no problem with the Shinju being quote unquote beyond Jigen, if that's what you're getting to realize. The aura like spiritual pressure, I'll turn it. True. Yeah, sure, check will do you. And Koki said Misty control your killing intent. Kaguya's 10 tails was seals. What do you mean? Expand on that, EK Tran. Kawaki was a trump for that. He said, bro, I can't breathe with that. Yeah, true. Yo, Jado, fam. This is gonna be funny. Yo, listen, the power scaling debates are going to be crazy going forward, honestly. But anyway, yo, Sarada definitely looks sick, bro. Like, the hair, especially since it kind of seems like the hair kind of that stand up, like that Super Saiyan 2 Gohan type of moment, you know. Oh. Well, let's see if we can go back to the paddle. Voila, the flying, bro. Yo. Bro, like, she even looks sick yourself, bro. Voila. Shit. Okay, yeah, just checking those messages. Oh, yo! Nah, bro, went to Mata for some TR. Bushmaster. Where goes like Trin Hignat? Yo, nah, kill me, bros. Nah, kill me. Oh god. But I still like, all my concerns aside in terms of the post kill, I do like where this is going because Sarada is getting her moment here. I will imagine that after this we'll see Kawaki come. Well, probably not to the battlefield, even though it would be interesting if Kawaki comes to the battlefield as well. It depends on how long. If Jura comes, it depends on how long the conflict between Jura and Boruto is. And then I would imagine it also depends on if switching Kawaki's defense to offense, if it boosts how far he can sense Boruto. So that's the next thing too, because so far we've seen that if Boruto is too far away, he can't really sense him. So it depends. That would be the only way I could see Kawaki coming to the field. Juro and Boruto fight for a little bit. Kawaki's new quote unquote upgrade causes his Otsutsuki sensing abilities to sense Boruto on the next side of the planet. That's the only way I could really think about it. This is calm, bro. True, but I mean he has those Otsutsuki cells, so even if he starts training with without the karma, then he should make some fast gains. So that's the thing. So that's the thing, yo. But I'm not gonna lie, I am very curious. Even though I'm not expecting like a drastic like night and day change in Sarada's character. Again, the fact that she's dealing with these new, she's embracing these new emotions that she previously thought as a weakness. I'm interested in seeing how her character interacts with other characters going forward. Because let me even go back up to the lines she was saying. Class reps feelings. So out of reach. Never even have to do anything about. I want to acknowledge it. It's clear to admit how powerless I am. So feeling powerless, not being able to contribute. Feelings of, romance and our feelings towards Boruto. Okay. Yeah, so she subconsciously was kind of lumping everything together, even with that Mangekyo power. Imagine he has roid rage mid-fight, bro. My skin is cold. Yes, Kawaki, no! Calm down, Kawaki. You'll destroy the planets. Yo, oh god, Jesus, that would be crazy, fam. That's Kawaki's power. Ninja Tech roid rage Shanks Amato. Please don't heal Yodo. That's the next thing. Do you guys think Yodo should stay dead? Because what I would expect is that once the anime gets to this point, they'll probably do a better job of making us quote unquote connect with Yodo. Maybe like an episode or two of extra content. Maybe, who knows? But maybe Yodo should stay dead. Yeah. Let the stakes feel at least somewhat high. Even though Yodo's not a character that, as a viewer, like you're that interested in or that connected to, let me say that. But I think Yodo should stay dead. Yeah, we don't care. we don't care. Yo, oh god, sorry, we'll probably get the Bakugo seal too. Yeah, because the thing is, again, when you really compare her to like all the other Mangekyo Sharingan showings you've seen, when you think about it, she's the first to really like just collapse from like chakra expenditure, like super chakra, like running out of chakra after using her moves, compared to like say Sasuke fighting Killer B. I don't think he was that bad. I mean, he got tired, but he didn't like just faint. Or even the legendary 5 Kage Summit Gauntlets. This man was just spamming everything. So yeah. Get Bakugo seal. But yeah, getting the Bakugo seal, and tying in Sakura, getting Sakura more involved would be good, because I'm always up for legacy characters coming in, because that's, you know, similar to the whole power scaling and beyond Jigen discussion. Yeah, legacy characters is the next discussion, where it's like, yeah, we're focusing on the new gen, but it doesn't make any sense for past characters not to be showing up, dog. Like, we've joked about it before. We're like, oh, like, you know, the insurance premiums in Konoha would be too high from it getting destroyed all the time. So Kakashi and people like him, like, just migrated, left Konoha, left Konoha. Cause, you know, this house insurance thing, it not work out, fam. My house gets destroyed every year. It doesn't make sense, you know. But, you know, like, on a serious note, like, fam, like, where are these characters? Honestly. Keep reading and you'll see. No, I finished the chapter already. I finished the chapter. I just went back up to something that, you know, read back with Sarada's statement here in terms of what she was holding back and what she was lumping together and holding back subconsciously as a group. So yeah. When he gets freed, Gara gonna only have one child. I know. It's rough. Hello, brother. Hey, anime KMMR. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Kakashi fainting when his Mangekyo awoke when Obito wiped. Okay, well, yeah, there was that too, and he didn't use any moves. But I would imagine Kakashi was already low on chakra, because he would have been spamming Shidori throughout that. I'm not bad. I'm actually pretty hungry, to be honest. Like, I literally rolled out of bed maybe like half an hour before the chapter dropped officially on the site here. And, you know, set up the thumbnail and the stream and things. So I haven't actually had breakfast yet, funny enough. And I kind of have to get a shower and go on the road after this too. So, yeah, I guess I'm unintentionally going to be fasting. Unintentionally. Unsealing Naruto and Hinata. Brother, how are you? Unsealing Naruto and Hinata. The spack up guard, that haircut is enough reason. True. No, I didn't read the leaks. I only, what you said, the frig up thing. What usually happens is that I don't do the, for Boruto at least. So for Dragon Ball, I'll take in leaks or whatever. But for Boruto, I usually don't do leaks, because I do the reaction reviews and I want the reaction to be as genuine as possible. But what happens 99% of the time, I'll scroll through YouTube and I'll bump up into like somebody with a thumbnail. Yeah, like with a thumbnail saying X, Y, or Z video title. I won't watch it, but I'll see it. And, you know, no, man, not stupid. So, I mean, obviously you can make some deductions. So, like, I had glimpsed something about, Sarada killing Ryu. So, I was kind of spoiled on that. So that's what usually happens, unfortunately. Because, of course, you know, I'm subscribed to all these, like, Mello, Bara, Naruto Explain, X, Y, and Z. And, you know, all of those guys will be covering the leaks. And I'm not going to go the extra mile to, like, unsubscribe from them until... You know, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. So, yeah. Sarada is just like Obito Sharingan. Well, would you say? I mean, hers is gravity. Well, one ability so far is gravity. So, you know, he pulled the same move he did on Sasuke with Momo and hid in a tentacle. Yeah. But bad filming skill will also get us strong by taking roids from Orochimaru. That would be the next thing. It would be nice to get Orochimaru. And just to kind of just backtrack to the power scaling statement, like, think about it. If these characters who are, again, beyond Jigen, right? I'm just saying. And you have people like Sarada. Not downplaying Sarada, don't get it twisted. But it is what it is. You have Sarada with hacks beating one of them. Can you imagine, like, if we're going by that logic, right? After these 3 years. Can you imagine somebody like Orochimaru? Orochimaru should be a god at this point in the story, right? Technically. I'm just saying, if we're following the logic of these beyond G, Orochimaru should be coming in and one-shotting everybody, to be honest. Miss Skill be the Kabuto 2.0, all the Kikagenkai and Sage Art. Yeah, probably. It would be nice to have Kabuto and Orochimaru come in and have Mitsuki have a moment to kind of power up. So yeah, especially because you see this whole plot line of Mitsuki's son. I kind of want them to go more in depth with it and more in depth with Mitsuki's character and where he's going, and see if that could probably intersect with the arc that Kabuto was on before. And of course, time back in and involving Orochimaru, because I mean, Sage Mode definitely OP, but you know we're gonna need a moment from Mitsuki as well. A little bit, not really. Obito was a different dimension. Okay, yeah. Shibai comes at the end and says Ishiki was actually weaker somewhere. And then we have like Boruto Part 3, and then we'll be visiting not Namek, Ramek to get the 7 mystical eyeballs. You know, something like that. Yo, ridiculous, bro. That would be crazy. Subscribe. Oh, respect realize. I will admit I haven't been making videos as often as one time. It's usually these Boruto reaction review streams these days, and at the end of the month, like either the last day of the month or the second to last day, I do a subscriber stream where I only let people who have been subscribed for at least 10 minutes. I don't kill people. Be able to, you know, come in the chat and, you know, we just talk about anything really and truly. So that's it these days. But I don't know. I don't want to make any promises. I feel like I've made promises and I haven't gotten back to make consistent, you know, discussion videos on content like one time. So yeah, just giving you full disclaimer. Realize the Ribos will live again. 2 souls in one body trapped via karma. Respect. Okay, cool. Just letting you know. Jura is gonna pop up. Then Kawaki is, I bet, on it. More than likely, because I'm not like. Cause alright, you realize what my prediction, even though I imagine the arc is coming to an end soon enough, but you realize my prediction is coming true, where I was saying like I don't expect Boruto himself to really show up and do anything until later on, or at least the latter half of the arc, which I think this is where we are at now. So, you know, my predictions aren't too bad. I'm just saying, I'm just tooting my own horn, you know, feeling so good about myself here. I'm just saying. So yeah, Boruto coming in. Oh, the man look fresh, coming in, cutting up Matsuri. It's crazy, bro. Crazy. I'm a low-key hype for Kawaki to pop up again. Bro, been getting Brosif, yo, honestly, because why? I had such high expectations for Kawaki, and I know he's still going to get there, but you know, coming from my train of thoughts when it came on to when we were learning that, you know, the karma was still extracting and they're 80% Otsutsuki, I'm like, yo, shit, I mean Kawaki's like 80% is Shiki, and then the manga gonna be so OP, which, you know, still is more like going to be the case, but you know, coming into two blue vortex, the man just Jano, it's embarrassing, honestly. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with him, with his defense. As per usual, similar to the power scaling, but I'm interested in the nuance to it, because the way I interpreted what Amado, his conversation with Amado, is like he'll be swapping defense for offense. So that's the thing. That is the thing. So even though he'll be strong offensively, does that still mean he can get one tapped? Which, I mean, anyway, we'll see. At the end, a mysterious crowd says, "Boruto, where's your tail?" No. Yo, that would be crazy, dog. Honestly. What kind of crazy is Sarada? Still that Shinju without her. Still there, Susano. Yeah, basically. It's crazy. No second villain, no Susano. It's just hacks. Pure hacks. Starship and Sasuke sword kills are start of Boruto to be Vortex sword skills. So you got I think I would go with Boruto. Given that you would expect that adult Sasuke is still better than with the sword than starter Shippuden Sasuke, and then Boruto's no slouch, he's a genius, and he spent 1 year with Sasuke, so I would say Boruto. Sasuke did just 1K ninja without killing. Yo, listen, yeah, that is true too. It's crazy. All them, all that, bro, all that. Look how impressive Sasuke sounded back then. Oh god. Anyway, the glory days, right? How do you think she gets EMS, or do you think Amanda will give her some healing ability for her Mangekyo Sharingan so she does not go blind? That is actually a good idea, because one thing I would like to think is that, of course, Amado is part of that modern theme in Boruto that tries to push the modern age, right? The whole tradition versus advancement, tradition versus modern ways of doing things. That new shinobi culture, that's part of that scientific ninja weapon. So, as in the real world, as time goes on, scientific improvements, we find new ways to deal with old issues of the past. So maybe that could be an idea. I mean, of course, the Byakugo seal is one of the go-tos when it comes on to fixing the Mangekyo Sharingan issue that she was going to get. 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to take that call. Yeah. So as I was saying, yeah, I mean, one of the easy go-tos would be the Byakugo seal. I think most persons usually go to that, but I do like the idea of Amount of somehow finding a way to actually fix it, or I don't know. I mean, everybody's going around with a Rinnegan these days. I don't know, maybe transplant one of those. But my theory is that given how the Shinju are, their nature, I do expect Hidari to be one of the Shinju that betrays a strong word, but tries to go a different route than say Drew or the others. Probably sides with Sarada, and probably through Hidari somehow programs his, even though it's still connected to Jura, probably he'll do something where Jura can't control his eyes if he takes them out or whatever, and he gives them to Sarada, something like that. So it's like she would have been getting Sasuke's eyes by proxy since Hidari has Sasuke's chakra. So that could be a thing. Sarada right now is probably, wait, hold on, before that. And it was stated the size of Beatrice is the size of their chakra pool. That's why Kurama must be getting a wrist. Was that the case? You have to show me about where that was stated. Who's stronger, Sarada or Himawari? Right now I would still probably go with, I don't know, because one, with Himawari, even though she has Kurama now, I'm still saying that I think it's more than just Kurama that's really dictating her hidden power. I think it has to be more than that, which is the next power scaling debacle discussion, to be honest. But and the fact that she could fight, Jura, to at least make him kinda try. But I don't see Himawari having a way around the whole gravity. So it's hard to say, fam. I don't know. But again, narratively speaking, Himawari does have that Daemon hype behind her. So, and we know Daemon is ridiculous, right? So yeah. Anyway, Orochimaru can grow organs. I'm sure eyes aren't that hard, especially if you make goggles that people temporarily have. Yeah, I did see Naruto explain, do some short on that or something like that. Yeah, so, but I mean, that's if we'll even include Orochimaru in the story at some point, right? Because I mean, a lot of us have been saying like, certain past characters should be showing up here, and here, but it's not the case. Sarada is probably one of the strongest with the Mangekyo Sharingan, but are we going to see if it has flaws? Yeah, and that's the next thing too. I mean, how much can she turn up the gravity? Can her body itself withstand the gravity up to a certain point? Is there a limit? Kind of like how it was with Kamui. He was like, okay, Obito seems unbeatable, but he can only do it for 5 minutes. Granted, I don't know if that 5 minutes increases if he has both Sharingan, but little nuances like that. So there's that. I still think going blind comes from awakening through negative emotion, not strong or positive. Shishui didn't seem to have problems with his Mangekyo Sharingan other than people trying to steal him. True, but it's not like we had a long time with Shishui to really confirm or deny, that's the thing. Because the thing with Itachi, of course, he had not the Mangekyo Sharingan, and you would have had missions in the Akatsuki here and there which would have obviously required a Mangekyo. So it's like, yeah, but it's like with Shishui, we don't really see much of him, so we can't really confirm or deny that. But that could be a thing, awakening it through negative emotion. So that could be it. But I guess we'll see. Do you think Daemon can reflect it, as in the gravity? That's a good question. Because, for example, if I'm Sarada and I just increase the gravity of it, like increase the gravity of the move, and then it's not like I'm thinking about it, I've already set it. Like gravity is like a concept, like it's physics, right? Like maybe it might be a possibility. Maybe he can't reflect it, because again, you're not thinking about, say, attacking him. You're thinking about increasing the gravity of the spear. So it could be like one of those loopholes around Daemon's ability. But who knows? Maybe when Daemon tries to go all out, maybe he can. maybe he can produce enough force to go against that type of gravity. Who knows? You never know. They asked her why she isn't going blind. She answers, because I'm a queen. Ridiculous. It's weird. Shinju's are one shot. Every side character, one character. Jura only. Wait. Let me see if I'm reading it right. It's weird. Shinju's are one shot. Every side character, one character. Jura only character is so strong. Are anyone in shot? Okay, bro. Ain't have too much time to go blind. Yeah, exactly. In theory, that Daemon's ability is actually Ada using omnipotence and say nothing can hurt Daemon. Huh. That would be an interesting theory. Even though Amado himself has already kind of confirmed that it's a separate ability. But then again, Amado himself didn't know about omnipotence, so any card can play. Man, Boruto so far, I can't wait for the anime. Yo, trust me, bro. Because alright, if the Kawaki arc or the Kara/Kawaki arc is the end to go by, which they did an awesome job of kind of fleshing things out, bro, like give 2 Blue Vortex an awesome production schedule. Probably just kind of, not stretch, but qualitatively, add to the quality of the story. We're good, bro. We're good. I mean, again, I have my issues with the post scaling and all that jazz and blues, but again, there's some leeway and some nuance to it with either hacks and thing, but I'm just saying. Yo, but I don't know, we'll probably do a Beyond G get video there, because it's just funny to me. Funny. I need him to train with Killer B and start spitting bars. Yo, you can imagine like if I were rapping, that would be wild. Fox Girl, Hima, Boruto Alliance, Barrage. It's V2 peak. It's crazy, bro. I wonder what Jura is going to do now. I mean, obviously he's going to go to the field. Shit. Yo, Kashin Koji himself probably is like super stressed, because apart from this, no, because obviously the future is going to change. So it's like shit. Yeah, thank you, Boruto. I have like 1,000 different futures to look at now and kind of sift through. So, yo, it's going to be crazy. But the better question: Will code show up? Will code show up? That's the next thing. I doubt it, but got to be asking those questions. I haven't read anything like a year. What? You haven't read anything in a year? It's crazy. Wait, Kyle, what's going on? Vidya, Sarada looking OP, Mangekyo Sharingan. Yo, oh god. Bro, it is too real. The hype, dog. The hype. God, I am so hungry. Oh god. Ohirume. Interesting. Hold on. So if that's the case, Tsukuyomi? Alternate names. No. Not Tachiyomi, Tsukuyomi. Apparently I can't spell. Kami of the Moon. Suki no Kami. The reason why I'm looking this up, more than like the other, the name of the other ability of her eye will be this Suki no Ikami. Makoto, Sukumi no Makoto is male god of the moon. Okay. Interesting. But then yeah, that's if our the next ability is going to even be Tsukuyomi, because we know with Sasuke he has Amaterasu in one eye and Blaze Release or Flame Control in the next eye. So yeah. Yes, she got her period and then that was some in the manga. Nah. She had a Gohan Android 16 moment and then she reawakened it or reactivated it. Let's put that, because she already awakened it from pre-time skip. So yeah. She's been subconsciously holding herself back. So yeah. And of course she has gravity abilities. So with one eye so far. So I don't know the ability of the other eye. But she looked fresh. I will say that. She looks fresh. And of course, levitating. She's like full on Magneto, basically. So far. Just think of Magneto. Theory. Sarada might be the strongest so far because her Mangekyo Sharingan gravity, or he missed something like that. And you know what would be interesting? Like similar to how with Pain, how he could cancel out moves with the almighty push and pull. There's gonna be a possibility that Sarada's Mangekyo ability would be able to like cancel out certain jutsu. Well, I mean, obviously we've seen with the Iron Sand, but that's more like just dragging it down. But something like that. So there's that. Then you're about to pull up with a whole Iron Man. When I said the Otsutsuki Slayer armor, you see me? Oh god. Ohirume is Amaterasu technical in Japanese mythology, so she may have some flame-like ability too. Yeah, I did the Google search on some Ninja Kamui type beat. So nice, light rays maybe. Denki comes out and says, Autobots. Bushmaster, calm down, man, calm down. These villains are so disappointing. This is the third time they were still including Sasuke clone. What's the point of them? That's the thing, 23, or should I say 2-3. Shit. I don't know if you were here earlier, where I was kind of discussing the pros and, well, the positives and negatives surrounding Sarada, like beating. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, I don't know if you were here at the time when I was discussing the pros and cons of Sarada beating the Shinju, beating Ryu here. It's it's kind of like I was saying, even up to Naruto and Sasuke, like even with them, it's like on paper narratively, yeah, they're stronger, but at the same time they seem so ass. so I just see something feels very disappointing when it comes on to them at the same time, right? So that's the thing. So I get the frustration, I get the disappointment when you're saying like, this seems so disappointing. I think Sarada Mangekyo Sharingan is like how the sun controls a lot in his respective solar system. That's a good way to look at it too. I mean, Sasori got killed in the state mark he got introduced. That's true. That's true. But at the same time, it would be kind of like what I was saying before in my last end of month subscriber stream, where I was saying like, yo, yeah, Naruto and Sasuke aren't. They're weaker than Jigen, etc., etc. We're facing there are a lot of characters stronger than them right now, and their moveset gets cancelled out by a lot of the opponents that they're up against. But at the same time, if they use their moves in creative ways, it would make them seem a lot more competent. For me personally, there's a big reason why episode 65 of the anime is still probably one of my top 3 episodes, because it just makes Naruto and Sasuke seem like, okay, yeah, they're still them, like they're using their moves. So even with Sasori being introduced in one arc, you see Sasori pull out all the stops, and even though he's beaten in one arc, you're saying, yo, if it was Sakura by herself, she would have lost. If Chiyo by herself, she would have lost. And at the end of the day, Sasori was the one that basically let himself lose at the end of the day. But you come out of that arc feeling like, yo, Sasori was still incredible at the same time, even though he was beaten in one arc. You don't feel disappointed with him, if you get what I mean. So that's the thing. Imagine Denki with minicons instead of an actual summon. I mean, that's if they're going to even use Denki in the manga. But once the anime comes, you can't forward them, dude. No pressure. It's a stream, so yeah. I mean, what they? They haven't evolved yet. That's the thing. As well, I was mentioning earlier, the Arashikage, where one, this is a very nuanced conversation in terms of the power scaling and the villains and how characters are portrayed, because even though you can have some pros, some cons, like one of the things I brought up is that these Shinju, they're newborn, as Shikamaru would have said. So even though they're beyond Jigen, is like they don't have the battle experience. They might have the raw stats, yeah, but they can't really maximize their power. So that's one thing I will definitely say as well. So that's one thing you can factor in, even though I know, like, overall in terms of how you feel about it, it doesn't really feel like it makes it any better. Like, they still seem like ass, but you kind of have to factor in. You gotta be, I don't want to say realistic, but you got to consider all angles in the discussion, is what I'm saying. It's like having a starter Pokemon. You gotta give it time to cook before serving up the Elite Four. True. Because I think what's gonna happen, especially after all what's happened with all these other Shinju, I wouldn't be surprised if Juro himself is just getting stronger through the sheer senses and experiences and accumulating all that information. So Juro is going to be ridiculous at the end of the day. Jigen versus Katsusana post time. Bushmaster, you need to stop with the foolishness though. I think I'm going with Katsusano, post time skip. I'm pretty sure what was that character's name again? I'm pretty sure even she's beyond Jigen right now. Other random question, but what's your top 3 anime? I usually say I don't really have like a top set of anime, but if I were to have a top, definitely Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball, and I mean like from OG to end with U, because of the the impact that Dragon Ball has had on my anime experience growing up. Of course, admittedly there are a lot of series that are much better written than Dragon Ball naturally, but for the impact. So Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball, really love Attack on Titan. What else would I say? Shit. I'm kind of trying to extend it to the top 5. I mean, Full Metal Alchemist was really good too. Shit. I don't know what else would I say. I don't know it. I don't know. I'm gonna think back on that. Also, it was so tough to take down Sasori. It took many exactly. So even though he's taken out in one arc, I didn't really have an issue. Like, you come out of the arc like feeling like shit, yeah. One arc, but he was the shit. I mean, that's how I want to feel about, or wanted to feel about Naruto and Sasuke as they were being phased out in the Boruto era. But like, there's a reason why there's so many persons who had to do videos talking about that Naruto and Sasuke were stronger than they were in the war arc, because it, like, Boruto has this ambiguous portrayal of how strong characters are. So that's the thing. You come out of it, it's like, yeah, Sasuke ain't not seem that impressive, you know? Even though on paper, when you consider things, he is, but it just doesn't feel that way. Boruto fastest character after Minato. It's like Minato is Yellow Flash, Boruto is Blue Flash. Blue Flash of the Leaf. That sounds like something Rock Lee would say. Sarada OP, but always low on chakra like Sasuke. Yeah, but I mean, there's a precedent for, there's a foundation of her. You know, you don't really think of a lot of chakra when you think of Sarada, right? So it's to be expected. It's not like with Sasuke back in the day was doing 1,000,001 things, and now it just feels like he's just out of chakra constantly, quote unquote. Even though that, you know, we can talk about that some other time. Boruto chapter, the best of all show. Sarada and Sasuke low chakra. Sarada has a cool comment, but I think they made her too OP. She feels stronger than Naruto and Sasuke at their peak. The Sangai tried everything, nothing could stop her pull. That's true, that's true, that's the thing. Again, the power scaling argument where persons right now, I'm like, again, shout out to you, Mello, if you if you end up watching this back or stopping by, or if you're even in stream right now, but you're probably not, because you would have probably said something. But you have, I know you have Sarada above Naruto right now, so you see people are already putting Sarada above Naruto, you know, which sounds crazy, right? Which again, I go back to the example where if Naruto training with Jiraiya over the 3 years came back after the time skip and could be Kaguya, that's the type of vibe, due to the whole stronger than Jigen statement. Tsutsuki sells, maybe. But because the manga is monthly, this battle took 4 months, but it's a short battle. True. What if Shikamaru become a if Shikamaru became a Shinju? That would be crazy. Shikamaru on the on the opponent's side? That's insane. And Sarada is stronger than Sasuke and Naruto Prime. Ugh, that sounds disgusting hearing, honestly. That's what I think. Jiraiya might even kill them and absorb them since they all fears at this point. That's one way to think about it, but what I was thinking about is through the shared experience. I mean, I imagine they should go back to the 10 Tails eventually, but through the shared experience, because, you know, I think it was last chapter or the chapter before when Matsuri was crying, wasn't Jura shedding a tear too? So he's experiencing all these, you know, experiences as well. So I was thinking more so through that he's basically getting stronger as well. One thing I heard people arguing yesterday is she's stronger than Barry and Mode. I mean, she'll definitely more than likely outlast Barry and Mode. But if you say she's stronger, nah, wouldn't go so far. I think Barry and Mode, Naruto, and Ishiki are still the top tiers. Is what happens with those thorns? Does Jura appear and claim the thorns, or will those be claimed by Konoha? That's a good question. Of course, we saw with Hidari before that, you know, Jura came and rescued the Thorn Soul Bulb and revived Hidari. But with Ryu's one, it seems like the effect of Sarada's attack seemed like it's causing it to disintegrate. So I don't know if Jura's going to somehow come in and manage to rescue Ryu. So it's hard to say. That's the thing. Or some person might think, who knows, maybe Code might try to eat one. Who knows? Top tier list: Jura, Boruto, Daemon, Sarada. It's crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think I don't know. I don't know. It still feels so off to say Sarada is stronger than Naruto. It's insane. But you know, thinking about it, you know, even if, you know, Ryu is a starter Pokemon, so to speak, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, with his raw stats, you would think he would have been able to like escape the gravity, right? But that wasn't the case. So I'm sure that would have probably worked on Naruto too, and it's crazy to think about that. Naruto and Sasuke are coming back and stronger than we last saw them. I would hope, because jeez and peace. And you know what? You know what's going to be funny? You know what's going to be really funny? If Naruto and Sasuke come back and say they don't get any stronger, but they perform just as well as a lot of these other characters, that's going to mess up the discussion retroactively for power scaling. Really and truly. That would be funny. I would find that so funny. Honestly. People would have to rethink the power scaling like crazy. Boruto speeds more than Minato. I mean, base speed, but I mean, instant teleportation is still instant teleportation if we're just basing it off their versions of Flying Thunder God. And of course, Minato's one is still debatably better. Debatably. It still does sound disgusting to say. Do you think Sarada is stronger than Pete, Naruto, and Sasuke? Because that's the vibe I got from this, but I just can't believe it. I don't know. It's I made a comparison to Dragon Ball Super earlier, where I was saying that some characters, like, you know, in Super, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z, the Z portion of the story had some ridiculous jumps in power, and Super took that and dialed it up to like 100, right? And a lot of characters came out that got jumps in power, as well as ended up fighting characters they had no business fighting. And right now, it kind of feels like Boruto is, as a series, is kind of playing on thin ice, playing on that boundary when it comes on to giving off that same type of vibe. Because again, I will point out, just to go back to my like escalation of the power scaling, right? When you think about Shippuden and how characters were training for years and up to that point and up to the 4th Great Ninja War, and then Madara comes in and he's like disappointed with the top tiers of the verse up to that point. It to the point like it's insane. And then you had Hashirama stronger than him, and then you had that 10 tails boost in power in terms of the characters like Obito and then Madara, and then you had the 6 parts upgrades, and then when you take those versions of Naruto and Sasuke and you add 15 years of training, master the Rinnegan, and another half of the 9 tails, and on paper you're telling me they're stronger than that, and then you have Jigen, who's beyond them, and then you have Limitless Code, who still with no wins, but you know, supposedly stronger than Jigen, and then you have the Shinju stronger than him, and then you have Sarada just beating one of them. You see the craziness of it, right? Again, I bring the comparison. Naruto coming back from his training from Jiraiya and beating Kaguya. That just sounds like nonsense, doesn't it? It's the same type of vibe. Again, for the persons who probably are just jumping into the stream, I'm not downplaying Sarada. I like her, to be honest. And I did make the point that, okay, fine. If she wins via hacks, I'm fine with it. It makes sense. That's essentially what happened with the Mangekyo Sharingan ability here. And I even made the comparison that, yo, okay, Hashirama is stronger than Obito, sorry. But if Obito catches him and come away, that's it. It's the same type of energy, the same type of vibe. But again, the fact that Sarada beat one of these Shinju, who's, I just did the power scale, so you have that visual image in terms of the power and the escalating power, and Sarada beating a character such as that. But the fact that Sarada beat a character such as that, it still has to raise the discussion that maybe the Beyond Jigen statement is essentially it's 50% ruining the power scaling here. 50%, because there's nuance to it. So there's that. Agreed. Jurors click info and that will make him more dangerous. Exactly. Daemon, I don't know. We haven't seen Daemon go all out. I'm still on Daemon being the strongest. Well, along with Daemon, Jura, Boruto. Right, no. Daemon, Jura, Boruto. So yeah. Can be skilled Daemon, bro. Never fought. We skill him. I mean, the only thing we can skill is, Limitless Code was who Daemon himself confirmed is above Jigen. And it's like, yeah, you're stronger than Jigen, but bro, I'm him. So that's the only thing we have. So that's the thing. That's the thing. And he's kind of nonchalant with the Rasengan Uzehiko. Like, okay, whatever, cool. And should do a Boruto 2 Blue Vortex tiers list. I want to, but I don't think I want to just yet at the same time. Jeez. Let's try to pretty much load diff Ryu so that counts for something. Yeah, true. It does come for something, but again, like I said, Ryu got 0 battle experience. So that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like the Beyond Jigen statement, I would say it's only 50% ruining the power scaling because again, Naruto as a franchise, there's nuance to it. A lot of the times, certain abilities can be very like situational, very utilitarian. Maybe if you have the info about certain characters, maybe as we go along, we'll get some nuance as far as ability, like I was trying to discuss earlier. You know, can she turn up the gravity to black hole levels? You know, can her body itself withstand the gravity up to a certain point? Is it like Ichigo's Bankai when you just get it? Ichigo, you know, your Bankai is breaking your bones, you know, type of shit, you know, little stuff like that. So you never know. If it's a case like that, can she only use it for a certain amount of time? I mean, chakra, outside of the chakra, you know, can her physical body withstand it? You know, will she go back to the ER and to the village? Like, oh, you know, some of your bones are actually cracked from the gravity. You know, little stuff like that. And because of that, maybe she might fight a certain character that can withstand the gravity or outlast it or do something to, you know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, for example, if she's fighting Pain and she's using the gravity, if Pain uses Almighty Push and pushes himself off, does that work and stall for time until she runs out of chakra? You know, that's the type of thing. So it's little instances like that why I personally, even though she's up against these characters who are beyond Jigen, I'm never quick to jump to say, oh, she dodged Hidari. Oh, she's stronger. She's faster than Naruto. You know, I am never quick to do that because it's a very nuanced conversation when it comes on to the characters fighting each other and how strong X character is going to be and all of that. And it doesn't help that Boruto, as that this side of the franchise, has this ambiguous portrayal of how certain characters are. But I'm just saying. When you break down the skill like that, it's insane for the time skip Naruto beating Kage. Exactly. It doesn't make sense, fam. But that's the type of energy I'm getting. Tier list will be so cooked right now. Yeah, it's hard. I can't make a tier list. I need more information. As per usual. Is there nuance to it? Because, for example, what would be frigged up is I make a tier list. Okay, and most person gonna say, oh, Sarada should be in the top tiers, and then maybe 7 chapters from now you find out that a character like Naruto can, I don't know, like or a character like Pain could use a move to kind of counteract the gravity, push himself off until Sarada runs out of chakra. What then? what then? Really and truly, do I do what the tier list and put Sarada down? You know, so that's the thing. That's really and truly the thing. So I know I'm not gonna blame persons for probably putting Sarada above, like probably in the top tiers, but you have to like take into consideration. You kind of have to discuss it and think about it, right? Because would you say Sarada beats Pain? Maybe. I mean, if we're just basing on the surface of her beating Ryu, but who knows? Again, like the same example. If Pain uses Almighty Push to kind of counteract the gravity, Sarada definitely runs out of chakra before Pain. What then? What then, right? Do you put Sarada down back from, oh, she's god level back to Shippuden Pain levels? What? I'm just saying. Granted, again, you could still make the argument that since Ryu couldn't physically get out of it and he should by right have the stats, you could say probably, oh, maybe her gravity can overcome the Almighty Push. Who knows? I don't know. So, you know, I'm just saying, have a conversation. Because yeah, even from early 2 Blue Vortex days, like people are like, yo, Sarada, like she dodged Hidari. Oh, she's she's strong. She's stronger than Naruto. It's you know, that type of vibe. Yeah, you can follow, bro. No pressure. And I never felt comfortable with it. To be honest, it wasn't. It just seemed like a stretch to me, given how I laid out the power scaling. But we'll see. We shall definitely see. But anyway, I think I'm gonna call it quits for the stream right now. I should have already been out and about on the road, but you know, this was a good stream. Love the turnout, love the turnout. But yeah, respect for coming out, guys. Of course, well, you guys are more than liked. respect for coming out. Oh god, but I'm looking forward to seeing where the story goes from here. Boruto's on field. I'm expecting a small skirmish between Jura and Boruto, maybe. And of course, that's gonna set up things for more conflict between Boruto and Kashin Koji. So yeah, yes, food, Kyle. I am pretty hungry, but my father actually go up on the road right to know and come back. So yeah, but yo, subscribe up, people. And of course, I'm looking forward to the end of month subscriber stream next week, Wednesday. Yeah. Next week, Wednesday. So if you guys want to come out and talk more with me, like just casually on the fly, of course, subscribe up. Come out next week, Wednesday, and we just chill and talk. Grab a juice, drink, you know. So yeah. Well, respect for coming out, guys. Been an awesome stream. Yeah. So, Shinju Ryu, and I'll see you in the next one.